This is one of the last places that's left in Bali where they are still making salt in the most natural, traditional way, and we are headed down to go see how that is done. So over time, technology coming into play and all, there are now more efficient ways of making salt, but this is one of the few villages that is left where they are still making it in the traditional way. So let's see what that entails. So you can see those dishes on the table. That is some of the salt that they've already finished making, and we are looking at the funnels that are here. All this is salt water which they leave to evaporate up until the salt remains. They scrape it off and put it into the buckets. In this natural making salt village, they pretty much get water from the ocean and they put it in these funnels. The funnels are literally trees that they have carved out, cut into half and funneled in the middle so that they can make a hollow space to contain the salty water from the ocean. So that salty water from the ocean, they leave it in there and they just let evaporation do its thing. The water evaporates up until there is nothing left but dry salt, coarse grain.
Wait, what's in here?
So what they were just explaining to us is the gentleman fetches water from the ocean. So the water is full of thick sediments like your rocks, stones, sand, and what he does, he comes and shifts the water onto the surface, and as he's doing that, all the water is falling out and all the solid sediments are settling to the bottom of the bags that the water were carrying. So next step, he scrapes the sand off the ground, the wet sand, and puts it into here. So that sand is containing the salty water. When you put them in here, this is where the next step of filtering will be happening. So the ladies that are sitting there, they take more water and pour it over the sand. So the finer sediments will then be filtered out of the water, and the water will drip through into the bucket that you see there with the reflection of the water. So that bucket is what they now take and put into the tree funnels that are just around the corner there. So into the tree funnels, and those tree funnels is where the water will sit for 2 days, and the water will evaporate. As it evaporates, salt starts to settle down on here, and they will scrape it from there and pick up any leftover sediments up until they are left with pure white salt. So this is the salt that has just been scraped out of the funnel. It still has a bit of the sediments in there, and we're just going to go and find out how they separate this freshly scraped off the funnel salt, take off the remaining sediments, and remain with this pure white salt with absolutely no sediments, no sand, no soil in it. So we're going to find out the final step of how they take out the remaining sediments. So here the lady scraps the salt out of there, puts it in here. They transfer the salt to the bigger buckets where they leave it to dry. Then they just pick out the remaining sediments and package it into the big bags. You see the big brown and white bag on the side there, ready for collection by big shops who will go and package it into smaller packets for commercial sale.